はい、YouTube をご覧の皆さん、藤井厳喜です。今日はショーン・マッキンタイヤーさんとマーク・フォードさん、二人のアメリカのスペシャリストをお招きして、日本についてちょっと質問してみたいと思うんですね。お二人とも忙しい時間の中を日本を今訪問してくださってますので、マークさん、大変有名なもうビリオネアでですね、ビジネスマンとして大成功された方です。ショーン・マッキンタイヤーさん、今はですね、私は特に、非常に博学な方ですけれども、彼の株式市場ですね、に対するアナリシスですね、これを非常に尊敬して彼のいつも意見を聞いております。So, Mark and Sean, let me ask you just one question. We have a new Prime Minister. She's the first female Prime Minister. And she's really fighter. She's a very conservative person. Mm-hmm. She was one of the students of Prime Minister Abe. Mm-hmm. So Abe took care of her very well. And so we see the birth of new Prime Minister, female first Prime Minister. We feel quite enthused. We are very much excited with that. What do you think of that? From foreigners, Americans' viewpoint.
So, because I write columns about, the markets, the economies, the interactions between, the American and other economies around the world. I tried to read as much as I could about Prime Minister Takaichi before I came to Japan and learn as much about her as I could. And what I discovered was, she rides motorcycles, she played the drums.
Yeah, drums.
And then also she's highly competent, super intelligent, and incredibly patriotic. And so I see in her just a wellspring of opportunity for Japan because not only of her, because of her alignment with Trump and an interest in doing deals with Trump and with the U.S., but also because she's done things and proposed things economically that I think are very interesting and very positive from my perspective. She recently announced that she desires inflation, but to have it be driven by wage growth.
Yes.
I know that is a huge problem in Japan, the stagnation of wages over the last many years.
Yeah.
And
that's the 3 decades.
Yes, many years. Totemo, many years. And so I look at her as a source of optimism for Japan. Before we started filming, I mentioned that it felt like a generational shift. Like we are...
One thing is generational shift.
Exactly.
That's true. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I see in her just a new hope being born. I'm really hoping that her agenda advances forward because I do think that she has the right policies, she has the right perspectives, she has the right drive, and she seems to have a little bit of a mandate as well from
from people.
Exactly. I read a statistic that said that among young people, 89% of them were conservative in Japan, in line with Prime Minister Takaichi. And I was like, well, if that's the case, then she basically is going to be able to implement all the policies that she's proposing, and we're going to see pretty rapid changes here in the next few years.
The 2nd of this month, November, JNN, one Japanese news network, did opinion research and they published the figure, the approval rate of Takaichi, Prime Minister Takaichi, is 82%. It's amazingly high.
Yeah, amazingly high, yeah.
And she's a very, very conservative person, and she's of course for the market oriented. She dislikes communism, and when she met President Xi, very clearly she laid out agenda from the Japanese side. They claim the territoriality of one Japanese southern island. Now it's a no man's land, but they claim that it should belong to China. The former prime ministers, they hesitate to refer to this territorial problem, but she said very clearly, this is our land, so don't intrude, don't invade that, and that is the problem between our two countries. This is a very clear message, and only the prime minister changes. I hear from the members of a Japanese diet that I know some politicians, they say, suddenly entire government changed. And bureaucrats started working, really. Yeah. What do you think of that?
Well, I mean,
from American viewpoint.
Speaking as an American, a business person that does business all over the world, I was very happy to hear about it. There's been a lot of changes in regimes all over the world, and every time a free market person, conservative, is elected, I feel very good. When it goes the other way, I don't feel so good, and there seems to be a little bit of both on both sides. And so in terms of business with Japan, to me, I think it's all good, and most of my friends feel the same way. It's encouraging. I think she and Trump will get along great, and plan be open to doing more business together rather than fussing about. And I like that she stood up for the free property. Maybe she'll be the next Margaret Thatcher for
Yeah. The politician she respects most is Thatcher. Yeah. Then she's somewhat like Thatcher, because the Takaichi is not coming from very rich family, influential families. It's not like Abe. Abe's family has been a very famous family in Japanese politics. And two of his uncles became prime ministers. And it's a quite well-known political family. Right. But Takaichi is from nowhere. Her family is just a normal middle-class family. And she's a real fighter, really. Yeah. She did fight, and she's probably the first person to become a politician in that family. So from the very beginning, she's a very good fighter. Yeah. They opened her own path. Yeah. And also, she doesn't belong to any big faction. Ruling party, LDP, Liberal Democratic Party, that is the conservative party in Japan. That is divided by some factions, some tendencies. But she doesn't have her own faction. Then she could become prime minister. This is rather amazing phenomenon, amazing achievement. Right. Yeah. It's like Abe had his own big faction, big group within LDP. Right. That was when Abe was the prime minister, that was the biggest, largest faction. Right. Yeah. But Takaichi doesn't have her own faction. She's a very independent person.
One thing that I have noticed, I've been coming to Japan for the last 6 years. And I think that among my friends, more liberal friends in the West, there's concern, I think, in the same way that they're concerned about Trump and his policies towards immigrants and foreigners, that there's concern between her and her policies towards foreigners. I've been coming here for 6 years, and this year, I have noticed more foreigners than I've ever noticed before.
Yeah. Increasing.
And what I've noticed is that they're rude even to me. And they're inconsiderate, they're not conscientious, and will spit on the street and leave trash and things like that.
That's a problem here.
It's a huge problem. And I had an experience relatively recently where I went to a bar, a very, very traditional Japanese bar last night with some gaijin friends. And the first thing the bartender said, he held up a sign and he said, it's 1,100 yen per person if you're a foreigner to sit. And before you sit, you have to go wash your hands. And the three of us, and honestly, I thought it was great. I thought I could imagine what experiences led that gentleman to want to have to do that. Because I know how gaijin can be sometimes, how foreigners can be, especially if they're European or from other countries as well. And so my friends and I respectfully washed our hands. And then, over the course of the evening, we were asking for his advice of, what whiskey to drink or what scotch to pick. And he started actually communicating with us. And like he was like reached towards the back, like behind the bottles on display to pick his favorite rum for us to try. And by the end, he was sitting and talking with us. And so for me, that was an eye-opening experience because as a foreigner, my main objective has always been to be respectful and considerate of the customs and culture here. And to make sure that when I come and when I leave, I always leave it a little bit better than when I originally came. And I feel like from my experiences that a lot of foreigners are not doing that, and that what this gentleman craved, what this gentleman desired was just that kind of respect, acknowledgement, and an appreciation for culture and custom and politeness. Because the moment that we were able to provide that, he saw that we were okay. And I think that the policies that I've read of Prime Minister Takaichi are in line with that, just ensuring that foreigners do acknowledge and respect the culture and the customs. And I think that that's a net positive for Japan.
We ask foreigners to do just one thing. When in Japan, do as Japanese do.
Absolutely,
Absolutely.
As in Rome. Do as the Romans do.
This is a terrible thing that's happened around the world in the last 10 years, where people feel they're entitled to bring their culture elsewhere and have everybody else respect. It's part of the identity politics thing. It's the same thing. It's not really about culture. It's this identity policy theory stuff that comes right out of communist book. And you have to the lower I am on the civilization scale, the more you have to respect me. I felt that way last night in my own hotel, which is a very nice hotel. Some of these people that were coming in, I was just looking at them and the way they acted, the way they, it was just, I wish they weren't there. And
Those people are coming from very uncivilized
Absolutely.
world, right?
It's
not a matter of nationality.
This so ridiculous idea that all cultures are the same, all people are morally the same. No, they're not. There are cultures that are uncivilized and that are more barbaric. And I've always, Japan to me is one of the most civilized. I think it's more civilized than America by far. And
thank you for saying that.
No, I feel that way.
He says that to me even in America.
Right, I say it to everybody. I'm writing a book about it, and we need more of that. We need more people that are proud of their culture and not willing to kowtow to other people just because. So I think my main advice to Japan would be: I don't know how this happened in America and in Europe, but just make sure that your universities don't let any communist teachers run your universities, because they'll destroy everything.
Anyway, thank you very much for your very candid, very frank opinions about our new Prime Minister and also on Japanese society. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Yeah, it was fun.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigato.
Thank you.